15-year-old Becky Pepper Jackson of West Virginia is at the center of one of two cases before the Supreme Court involving transgender athletes.
A sport is something that everybody should have the opportunity to do if they want.
The other plaintiff, Lindsay Hecox, a college student in Idaho, which currently bans Hecox's participation in women's sports at Boise State University.
If Idaho can't enforce a sex-based line here in sports, where nobody disputes that biological differences matter, then no line based on biological sex can survive constitutional scrutiny.
27 states have laws on the books barring transgender girls and women from participating on female-designated teams. Lower courts ruled in favor of the plaintiffs who claimed discrimination based on sex or status as transgender. Title IX is what has protected women's sports for decades.
Essentially, on either side, the argument that this is sex discrimination, and it can't obviously be both.
That's part of the discussion for the High Court, which could take a narrower path in its ruling.
Given that half the states are allowing it, allowing transgender girls and women to participate, about half are not, why would we, at this point, just the role of this court, jump in and try to constitutionalize a rule for the whole country while there's still, as you say, uncertainty and debate?
Justice Alito referenced female athletes who have expressed concerns about fairness in competition. Some of them spoke out Monday.
We as women were excluded from participating, from competing, from calling ourselves champions.
A decision is not expected for several months.
What a time to be alive. On the one hand, we can see a face on the telephone and we can type a prompt into a computer and it can create an app or write a document or a myriad of other things. On the other hand, we're at a place in human history where we're literally debating biological science. I can't believe we're still having this discussion in the year of our Lord 2026, but let's get straight to it.
That's the show, damn it!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So we got to take this conversation all the way to the Supreme Court because for some reason we can't figure out that men are not women. And that hasn't changed since, well, you remember.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
So I got to play a reaction from CNN. I got to shout out Black Conservative Perspective on this one. Somebody I follow on YouTube. Y'all should follow him too. Real good. All right. Big shout out to him for pulling out this video. I want to react to this video. So with all that being said, you're going to hear a little bit from CNN as they get fact checked in real time by a young lady, a young woman, sports athlete on this whole issue. It's pretty glorious, I have to admit. Without further ado, let's get straight to it.
By former Idaho State cross-country runner Madison Kenyon and the president and CEO of Alliance Defending Freedom, Kristen Wagner. Thank you so much to both of you for joining me. I know you've been in court today listening to and watching these arguments. Madison, first off to you, tell us why this is so important to you.
Oh man, well, I went to Idaho State University on a track and cross country scholarship where I raced a male athlete in the women's division many times, and I lost every time along with hundreds of other women. I saw a teammate pushed off a podium, and I know that that roster spot didn't go to a woman. And after seeing that and knowing that this is not fair, I stood up to protect these sports that gave me so much, gave me my education. And it's not fair for women to compete against men. It ruins the integrity of women's sports.
What were the conversations like with athletes when you were competing against a trans athlete? Were there various perspectives that you were getting?
It was pretty consistent across the line that it's unfair for a woman to step on the line against a male. It's like you haven't started the race, but the result has already been decided. And running's a mental sport. If you think that, then that's what happens. And we're collegiate athletes. We're not participating for a participation trophy. We're sacrificing every single day to go out and race and to beat the odds.
And Madison, is there room to stand behind your concerns about fairness, which, like I said, when you look at polling, there are a lot of Americans who share your concerns. And the majority of them do when it comes to sports. Is there room, though, to stand behind those concerns and still empathize with trans students who want to have school experiences that can be so character and community building? And how do you approach that?
I think it's really important to understand that when women compete against women, it is fair. When you put a man in women's athletics, it's not fair. And women have nowhere else to go. If you take away the fairness in our sports, we literally have nowhere else to go. But when men compete against men, it is fair. And when women compete against women, it is fair. And so in order to protect the opportunities that I had in college to get a scholarship, to get an education for all of the future generations of women, it is so important that we can recognize that women should only compete against women. That I had in college.
Boom. Boom. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's only fair for women to compete against women. And quite frankly, give them their own division if that's what they want. If there's enough interest in it, there's enough trans, quote unquote, trans athletes, enough quote unquote trans kids. And I say quote unquote because, we all know that this doesn't actually exist. Okay. But whatever, man. If it's that deep, then yeah, great. Then give them their own division. They can have their own subcategory, right? So you got the Special Olympics, right? You got the Wheelchair Olympics. You got the Trans Olympics. You got the Women's Olympics. And you got the Men's Olympics. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, just compete in your own division against your people, right? Straight up. That's the only way to keep it fair. Either way, no matter how you slice it, exactly what this young lady said is correct. It's only fair when men compete against men and women compete against women. Now, you see how this anchor right here, this dishonest anchor right here, is trying to get her to bend the knee. She's trying to get her to bend the knee and say, oh, well, there's we don't mind if somebody actually feels like they're really a woman. I don't care if somebody feels like they're a woman or not. If you're not, you're not. I don't know. I respect women too much to believe that a man can be one. And I just can't believe we're at a point in history where there's so much misogyny in the world that we believe that men can be women. There's so much misogyny, so much woman hatred in the world that we believe that men can be women, and we allow men to dress up as women and cosplay their version of being a woman and compete against women and win their gold and silver and bronze medals and scholarships and so on as if they were actually women. We're pandering to this foolishness, capitulating to this nonsense. I can't believe we're at a point where we hate women so much that we're allowing this kind of thing to happen to them. It's just baffling to me. It's really just baffling to me. And it's always baffling to me because it always comes from, guess who? White liberal women. Or any kind of liberal women. It always comes from liberal women. I'm always surprised at how much liberal women hate women. Don't want y'all to get married, want y'all to go be bosses, want y'all to be cat ladies, want you to be lesbians, want you to not have babies, want you to abort babies when you get them. Wants men competing in your sports, wants men in your locker rooms, men in your hot tubs, men in your bathrooms. Celebrates a man being with another man, demonizes you for wanting to be with a man, demonizes you for wanting to be a stay-at-home mom, demonizes you for wanting to be a wife, demonizes you for prioritizing being a mother. I can't believe that the left is so misogynistic. I can't believe that we've gotten so misogynistic in society that we hate women so much that we allow these things to happen. It's just amazing to me.
Get a scholarship, to get an education. For all of the future generations of women, it is so important that we can recognize that women should only compete against women.
No, and understanding that that is your position and that people share that with you. How do you see the issue of including trans people in school activities, in the community, in a way that makes them feel included?
Yeah, you see what she's doing there? She's trying to force her to bend the knee to inclusion. She's trying to force her to do that. You see this? This is exactly what she's trying to force her to do. Because this is what they do. Let's see how she responds.
As I will say, looking at this, you'll hear, and we had someone on the other side of this issue on the program last hour. There's certainly a feeling of being excluded. So I just wonder, from sort of your point of view, how just on a very human level you see that.
I think it's important to see that anyone should participate in sports, but sports is based on biology. And that's why it's important that women only compete against women. So anyone can play sports, but where is it most fair? And for women, that's only against women.
And can I just add, I mean, this idea of kindness and compassion, we should be extending that to all people, no matter how they identify. And we shouldn't be making differences on the basis of how someone identifies if that's not relevant to the particular inquiry. I think the other big piece to put there is you said, how do they feel? Well, I want to focus on the harm to the girls, because even in the case before the Supreme Court, over 420 girls have been displaced 1,100 times and lost 57 medals to the boy at the heart of the case. So let's talk about how those 400 girls are feeling in this moment.
Yep, that part. Yep. That and all that. That and all of that. 400 girls displaced 1,100 times and lost 57 medals. All right, I had my stats a little off earlier. But 400 girls, 420 girls, 1,100 displacements. That means 1,100 times a girl finished first, second, or third, and yet a boy cosplaying as a girl, pretending to be a girl, because he's not a girl, because trans women are men. A boy came and took that from her. That's demoralizing. I just can't believe, again, I can't believe that a party, the left, the Democrats, who claim so much to be for women and pro-women and women's this and women's rights, that and the other, are actually so misogynistic that they would hold this against women, that they would allow these types of atrocities against women to happen. I'm honestly shocked by it. So that's all I really got to say about that. Big shout out to the Supreme Court, who appears that they're going to uphold this and allow other states to make those decisions and make the rules on how they want to govern themselves. And if you have states that say, you know what, we think it's okay, fine, okay, whatever. But the states who say, nope, we don't want that, the government should not be able to force them to do it anyway. If the people of that state say, we don't want that law, we believe that women are women and men are men, and that's all there is to it, and that men should compete against men and women should compete against women, and in our state, that's how we do it, then they shouldn't have the long arm of the government stepping in and reaching in to stop them from doing that. They should have their own state autonomy. In the end, that's what democracy and our republic that they always cry about. They actually never cry about our republic. It's always democracy. But whatever the democracy that they're crying about, that's what this is. The people in these states have said, no, we believe in biological sex, biological science. And biologically, in sports, men compete against men, women compete against women, all the others compete against others, and they can do that if you so choose. Create your own category if that's what you want to do, but they don't want to do that because, quite frankly, there isn't enough interest in that. So it's just better to show your pure misogyny and your pure hatred for women by cosplaying as one and then beating all of them. Sometimes physically beating them.
And now, making her way to the cage, please welcome Fallon Fox.
How do I expect the fight to end? In a bloodbath. What do I think about my opponent, Erica Newsom? She's a pretty strong fighter. I don't think she has a technique of beating, so I'm just going to take it to her over and over and over again until I win this fight.
Let's welcome her opponent to the cage, Erica Newsom.
I feel really well. I've been training really hard for this opportunity for a long time.
And look at this girl. I mean,
physical specimen, man. Wow.
Great shape. She's solid, she's tough, and she's ready to go. She doesn't want Fallon taking home that $20,000.
Good throws and reversals by both fighters.
These girls are getting right into it. Fox delivering the knees, and that's it. Fallon Fox. Holy cow. Game over.
Wow.
And a quick finish to our first women's $20,000 championship tournament fight.
Your winner by knockout, Fallon Queen of Swords Fox.
How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling excellent. That was sweet, huh? Did you like that? Yeah! And I want to tell everyone else, I'm coming in this tournament. Every woman in this tournament better look out. I'm freaking coming.
Well, you heard it here, everybody. Fallon Fox coming for you in the ladies tournament, advancing to the next round. Let's give it up one more time for her. Fallon Fox!
You understand what I'm saying? All right? So, Again, shout out to the Supreme Court. I think they're doing the right thing. I think states should have their own autonomy at the very least. And I personally am not on the side, again, as a father of daughters, I am not on the side of having little boys dress up as little girls and compete against girls of any age, whether they be little girls or they be grown women. It's wrong to do that to women. At least that's what I think. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell a friend to tell a friend. More importantly, remember, stay skeptical, stay informed, and always question the narrative. Until we meet again.
Unicorn.